Hey everyone, this is Mike from Wheel Fun Rentals. I'm here to talk about 7Shifts, the new scheduling software that Wheel Fun is going to be implementing. And so some of the benefits of this software, as opposed to the traditional Excel handwritten software, is it's interactive. So what we like about it here in Oxnard and Ventura is the employees download an app on their phone or open it in their email, and they receive the schedule there as well. So it eliminates a lot of the confusion, and it also eliminates some of the process um, that the manager is involved in, and just places it here in 7Shifts. So 7Shifts was originally a restaurant-based software, but for what we need it for and all the locations we have, it actually ends up working really, really well for us. So like I said, there's a online option that can be accessed through 7shifts.com, or if you wanted to download the app, which is probably uh, a good thing to do, especially for employees, um, is to just go to the App Store or Google Play or any other app-based system that you have on your phone and just download 7Shifts. That's the name of the app. Okay, so we will go into 7Shifts. So once you're all implemented in as managers, you'll click Login, sign in with your username and password, and then it'll bring you here. And so this is what you'll see initially. This is for today, so we have different people working today. Okay, so the first thing we'll need to do is input employees, and then we'll talk about what roles they'll have, what titles, and then we'll run through the actual scheduling system, how to add different template schedules, and then how to publish the shifts so that all the employees can see it. So first we'll go to Manage Employees, and then we'll click Add up top right here. Okay, so we'll enter their first name, last name, and either an email or a phone number, preferably both if you have them. But mobile phone will likely be the best one to put there, because then they'll receive text notifications whenever they receive the schedule. It'll tell them when they work that week just right there on their phone. They don't need to look at it. It'll just go right to them. That's one of the benefits that we like from 7Shifts, is that it notifies the employees and makes them responsible for their own shifts. Alright, so first name, we'll say Wheel, last name Fun, and for email we'll just put my Wheel Fun email. Okay. And so another important part of this, other than basic info, is that they can be assigned different roles, the different employees. So like here at Mandalay, we have a bike clerk, we have a lead, and we have a mechanic. So we could import this new person either as a bike clerk, lead, or mechanic. So we'll go to Mandalay right here, and we'll say they are a bike clerk. And then whenever you make changes here, you always need to scroll to the bottom and press save. Right now this is the first time, so we're just going to press add. And so it'll add this employee. And what they'll receive right now, if you sent them a text, if you put in their phone number, they'll receive a text that says you've been invited to 7Shifts. This is how you log in. I believe it'll give them their password as well. So they'll be able to get in and change it on their own to something they'll remember. Email will be the same type of message. Basically, they need to go in and change the password so they can be responsible for their own profile, and pretty much it's easy from there. Alright. So to change different roles, for instance, let's say we needed to change a role at one of the locations, even though we have all of them there, we'll just make up a role. So we'll go to locations, departments, and roles. And so you'll click roles. And make sure that you go to this drop down menu for the departments and that you're in the right location. So we're talking about Mandalay right now. So we have a bike clerk, we have a lead, and we have a mechanic. So we'll just add a role. We'll add a lead mechanic. And we'll make sure to click save. Alright, and then we have that role added. So that's how we add these different roles, and you could always take them away by clicking that X right there, and it'll delete it if you click yes. Alright. Alright, so we'll go to making the schedule right now. So we'll click this calendar icon here. Alright, and we're making the schedule for Mandalay. So we'll go to Mandalay right here. Alright, we'll click the week that hasn't been scheduled yet. Alright, so when you go to that week, it's going to ask you if you want to start with a template or a schedule from a previous week. And just to show everyone how it works, I'm going to say no, but you'll always have that option to just import the schedule from a previous week or the week before that even, if you have a concrete schedule where everybody's availability is going to be the same. Okay, we'll stay here just because we have a couple different locations out here where the same staff people work. It shows where they're going to work as well. So for instance, if you're a manager of 2 different locations and you'll be using this software, this is what you're going to see. It's going to be a lighter shade of the same exact thing on the page you were on. And I'll show you a little bit more right now. So these 4 people are working these times at Ventura Pier, which can be found through this drop down menu as well, right here. But we're at Mandalay, so we want to schedule for Mandalay. So to do that, we'll schedule the Saturday and Sunday right here. So we won't schedule these people since they're already working, but we'll schedule these people down here. Okay, so before we get into the scheduling part, there's a few things that we should know. So there's different aspects of 7Shifts that make it even more beneficial for us. Those can be found up here. It's availability, shift pool, and time off. And what that does is it allows the manager to be cut out of some of the process and the communication that happens in order to get time off. This puts it completely through the app, and you simply need to approve or disapprove. So I'll show you right here. There's a pending availability, and I haven't approved it yet because it's July 4th. But this person, staff person, is asking this time off. And so you could either approve or decline. And let's say you decline. You could leave a message for this employee if you want to. It's optional. You could say, for instance, I can't approve this because I need you to work the 4th of July. Would you be able to submit a new availability that allows you to work that day? And then you'd continue and decline. And the same thing can be done if you approve it. You could be like, okay, that's great, have a great time. But again, that's optional. You don't need to do that if you don't want to. So anyways, that's how the time off system works as well. The shift pool is a little different, and I'll get into that later, but that process is done after the schedule is already made, so it's not very important for right now, but I'll create a separate video for that one. Alright, so it'll ask me to start a template or another schedule. I'll say no. Again, that option is available to you. Okay, so if I accepted that, the availability here would show. So for days where he didn't change his availability and he's available all day, there won't be anything in the top right corner. For days that he is available a part of the day, it'll show. If you hover over that little plus sign and don't click on it, it'll say that he's available from 12 to 8. Days where he completely said he wasn't available, if you hover over it, it'll just be in red and say not available. So I'll show you what happens if somebody's scheduled times they can't work. First, we'll make some shift templates, actually. So if you click plus right here to schedule somebody, you can enter the schedule manually, or you could select from a couple different templates. So if you have different shift times than these right here, you can always make new ones on your own. So to do that, you'll go to time frames up here at the top, and make sure you click the right location. So we'll click Mandalay, and there's a bunch of different templates that we use. So let's click right here on Saturday, since we're making the schedule for Saturday. But let's say we only wanted it to be a Saturday and a Sunday type of template. So we'll unclick everything else except for Saturday, Sunday. And let's say we want it to be a 9 to 5 shifts. Just a midday. Maybe you have a mechanic coming in to do some maintenance or something like that. And make sure to type a role. You always need a role. Otherwise it won't show up in your templates. So everybody here is a bike clerk in our Mandalay system. So we'll just click bike clerk to make it easy. Of course you could select a mechanic as well. You can make it for multiple different roles that you have. But for right now we'll just do bike clerk. So we'll save that. Alright, it should be there. So we'll go back to scheduling. And we'll go down to Mandalay. No, we will import a schedule from the previous week. Okay, so we'll add this person. So they're a bike clerk. You can change their roles if you want, if you assign them to a different role. All these employees are bike clerks for now. And then there's different templates for you as well. So we'll put this person from 8 to 1:30. And let's say there's a group event today. There's a shift note option where you could type in that some type of event like that's going on. So it may not affect him because he gets off at 1:30, but let's say the group is at 2 and he needs to prepare some bikes, make sure they're clean, or make sure all the Surrey scavenger hunt papers are organized. So we'll just say group at 2 p.m. and we'll save that. So that means whenever he looks at his shifts, or he gets it from the app or his or online, he'll see that notification, that note as well, and he'll know, hey, there's a group at 2. Okay, so we'll have an opener and we'll have a closer right here. So we'll just select it from the template right here, 1:30 to close. We'll let them know as well that there's a group at 3, just so they don't forget. And that's definitely one of the most handy things about 7Shifts. Anytime you have a notification where you need to send it out to all the employees, for instance, you could always just type it in the notes when you make the schedule, and they'll all be able to have that on their phone at any time. They don't need to go looking for a text or remembering a phone call conversation that you had with them. Okay, so these 2 people are good to go. Let's say, for instance, that availability was submitted for this person and you schedule them on a day they couldn't work. So this person right here, if you hover over it, it'll say 8 to 3 p.m. is the time they're available to work. So let's say you drag this shift, which is something great about 7Shifts. If you made a mistake, you don't need to retype it in. Just drag it around, and you could change it to different weeks as well. It doesn't need to be in the same week. So let's plop this right here, and it'll highlight red because this person was only available until 3 o'clock and you have them closing today. So at the top, it'll say that you have a conflict, and it'll highlight red right here saying, hey, this person actually said they can't work this time and you approved it. If they submitted availability and you never approved it, it won't show up here, so it won't matter. But if you already approved it, it'll notify you. That's the same case with time off. So if somebody asked it for time off and that was approved by you, it'll all show up right here just with the time off button. And you won't be able to click on it. If you do click on it, it'll say this, but there won't be a plus sign, kind of to be an extra way to show that you approve this person for time off, don't schedule them. But let's say for some reason that we schedule them anyway, dragged a shift on top of them. That'll say that they aren't available to work then either, and it'll still say time off under there, so it'll notify you. Alright, so let's make the schedule for Sunday, June 12th right here, just to show you guys one more time. So we'll put this person as a closer. There aren't any groups today or anything that they should know about, so we'll just leave shift notes blank, and then we'll schedule this person to open. Again, no shift notes. Okay, so that's the schedule for the week, because we're only going to be open the 11th and 12th of that week. Alright, so there's a couple different ways that you can access this schedule. There's only one way that the employees can access this schedule. The way the employees can access this schedule is, you'll see how it says unpublished up here. So unpublished means that nobody else could see it except you right now. So in order to make that available to all the employees, you'll scroll down to the bottom here, and you'll click publish. You could just select notify all employees or don't notify anyone. Of course, you'll select all employees and click publish. I don't want these people to get a schedule yet because that's not accurate, so I won't click publish yet. But it'll send everybody either an email or a text or both, and it'll tell them that for the week they work these different days, and it'll be there right on their phone as well as in the app, so they'll be able to see it in the app and have it on their phone whenever they want. Okay. And then if you wanted it to be saved as a file for whatever reason, you could always go to print and then print the PDF right here, and it'll print the entire thing. And you can mess with how you want it to be. You could include roles, the roles of everyone. Everybody here is going to be a bike clerk, so we won't include the roles, but there's going to be some notes because there's a group this day. Oh, wrong times. Oh well. And then you could always print that PDF. So for instance, if you wanted to tape it up in the shop just for your own use, you certainly can. But the app is going to take about 99% of the responsibility for everybody knowing when they're supposed to work. Okay. So basically 7Shifts, the scheduling software, is really useful, especially for us. I've demoed it with a couple of our locations, and it's extremely useful. All the employees really enjoy it when everybody is using it. They can always go on their phone and it'll show them, hey, I worked this day at this location, and I worked this day at this location. And it really clears up a lot of confusion because they don't need to remember anymore when they work. Sometimes some employees forget for some reason But now it really makes them accountable because it's all there on their phone. If they choose to use their computer, it's on there as well. Alright, so I'll make a few more videos about the availability, the shift pool, and the time off aspects of 7 shifts. And yeah, alright, see you soon.